prepare and we'll go and we'll do our best. We'll put them under pressure. The game is about being effective, being aggressive, winning the ball, getting on with the play. We'll put them under pressure.
And that's just Philip when he gets up in the morning making that noise. Isn't it, Mr. Brady? That's you.
Only on mornings after that last night.
Yeah. Welcome to the Tottenham Hotspur fan social gathering. My name is Dermatron. I've been a Spurs fan for 43 years. And I'm welcomed by two new members into this community. Mr. Brady's been a fan longer than me. He's seen it all, been there, done it.
I'd seen it all up to last night, Dermot.
Yeah, I know.
I never saw before.
No. And below we've got Tequila, who's new to this community. He's new to the Nut House. He's very quickly finding out that Dermatron is a loony, Philip is the sensible one, and Column's just damn right off the walls.
Oh man, I knew that a long time ago, Dermot.
Oh, did you? That's fair enough.
That stuff. But the stuff I didn't know was how I felt last night when I was going to bed, and I was just like, I'm going to just switch on YouTube, and I saw the Crazy Demo, Dave, and Hotspur Hippie all on at 2 a.m. I was shocked out of my brain to see you guys on that late, mate. For you and Dave, it was 2 a.m.
Yeah, look, it was Paul that said to me, do you want to go live? He said, Paul sent me a message, mate, g'day, Dermo. Do you want to go live? No, when I might say the wrong thing, he says, don't worry, I'll say it for you. I said, fine.
It doesn't care at all.
Live, we went. I put it into the group chat. Next to get a message from Dave, you got room for one more. Come on, let's have your crack. Let's see where we go. Philip, I never, ever want to go through what I went through last night, but the amount of abuse I've been given because I wanted my team to win.
Yep.
Have you ever? I mean, look, you've seen Arsenal win the league in 71 at our place. You've seen them. We're all there in 2004. and so on and so on. Tell me, Philip, please, am I going off the rails, or did we really have what happened the last few days?
Oh, listen, this is a unique situation that's probably never happened before, and I hope to God it never ever happens again, because what happened last night nearly tore the Spurs community apart, right? And now I watched the match last night with sound and no sound, like you, Dermot. I couldn't see. I only watched the bits today now I watched the bits when Manchester City scored.
Yeah.
And to see Tottenham fans celebrating the opposition scoring made me puke. It nearly made me puke. I said, what in God's name have we come to? Do we hate Arsenal a lot more than we love Spurs? Because that's the way it looked to me. It was more important for Arsenal not to go somewhere than for us to qualify for the Europa League, which we would have done if we got a point last night. I know we probably still will anyway, but it could have been done last night. I'm gobsmacked. I cannot understand the mentality. And the likes of Jamie O'Hara should be absolutely ashamed of himself, what he did on TalkSport last night.
Yeah.
And fair play to Jason Cundy for pulling him up on us. And he's not the only one. There's been a few of them, more people have come out of the woodwork today and pulled it. For an ex-Spurs player to celebrate Spurs losing, it's just unfathomable.
Can I just point out, Philip? Can I point out he was a shit Spurs player?
Oh, he was. Yeah, he was. He's been stealing a living on the strength of that for years. And I hope to God now that TalkSport see the light and give him the door, boot him out, because he deserves no less for what he did last night.
Tequila, look, it's a hot subject. Paul put out a brilliant video this morning when Paul looks really hurt by it. Do you understand fans like myself, Philip, yourself, Carl, and other people where we just couldn't get it? We could not get it. Do you understand that?
I find it very different. It's actually very, very complicated. I know Paul, bless him. I know he's a passionate guy. I don't think it's as simple as what he says. I think it's really complicated because I have watched a number of different channels before I joined you guys. I've watched Levy. I've watched channels on the more Levy inside. I've watched channels on the more Levy outside. I've watched ones that try to stay in the middle ground, like I think you guys do, which is closer probably to where I am. But I lean on the Levy outside, but it's not actually to do that, because I've seen Levy people who are very Levy in want us to lose. I've seen people who are very Levy out want us to lose. So it's not that. It's not the age thing either, because some of these people in my mind I'm thinking of who wanted us to lose are our age, are older than us, maybe slightly younger than 50-year-old Phil. So they're not on the young spec. It is the whole spectrum. It's not also what Dave said last night to you. I agree a lot of him on, but it's not even about proximity. I thought maybe it was because a lot of these fans were working alongside Arsenal fans, but it's not. I've seen it coming from foreign places as well, where they're quite isolated. So it's a really complex thing. So complex that it is actually an individual thing, and it's based on their personality. Dave said to you last night, Dermo, that he felt he was a little bit petty because he had nothing to show for his fandom. Whereas you said, well, at least I've seen a couple of us win a couple of FA Cups. In Phil's case, he's got a couple of league wins to rub in their face. But to somebody like me, right? All I've got to show to rub in Arsenal fans' face is 2 League Cups. That's a massive thing. I wish I had an answer for you, Dermo. I don't. It's very complicated. What it did do, though, in final, what it did do, it just showed how fractured our fan base really is.
Our fan base is fractured, Tequila. Our fan base is fractured. And look,
incredibly fractured.
You know how strong I wanted Spurs to win. I'm not going to back down from anybody for that. And why should I?
You shouldn't. You shouldn't. No, you shouldn't. But they're not going to either. So what do you do? I don't have an answer for you.
I respect your opinion. I respect anyone's opinion who wanted to do what they wanted to do. But at the end of the day, it's Tottenham Hotspur. It's a club. You cannot 90% or 95% support a team. And then for the one day, you know what? I'm going to support somebody else. I'm either all in or I'm all out.
I think
I'm all in. I wanted to win last night. why I wanted to win was once to secure 5th place in the league, 2 to have a chance of Champions League football on Sunday, and 3 I could not give a shit if Arsenal were 2 points clear. They could end up losing to Everton on Sunday and Man City and beating West Ham, so they could still win the league on Sunday. By the way, if West Ham beat Man City, which could happen, and Arsenal beat Everton, Arsenal win the league. So what was last night all about then?
It's them having to live. It's them who do care so much about Arsenal having that over them. It's them having to live with that, and a lot of them struggle more than others. And also, Dermo, a lot of people don't care about finishing in the Champions League because they feel they've been burnt so many times that getting into the Champions League has not really benefited us. It's benefited Levy. And this is more on the Levy out end. I'll give you that, who feel this way. But that's so Champions League for them is not worth much. Now, for me, I'm a bit different, and I know you are too, and everyone's a bit different on that spectrum. But for those people who've really had enough of Enoch, right, they don't care about getting Champions League because they think it means it won't change the trajectory of the club enough for them.
Look, you had last night people saying, today now with all this with Ange might walk, that it's all to do with Levy. It's got nothing to do with Levy. He was pissed off last night because the fans wouldn't get behind the team. That's what pissed him off last night.
Definitely.
He was. We have fans celebrating in the Tottenham stands. Man City scoring a goal. Bill Nick would be looking down last night and shaking his head and thinking, "What the effing hell's happened to my club?" Arthur Rowe would be looking down, disgusted.
Dermot, I don't disagree with you at all. I'm doing my best, and I'm struggling to try to understand where everyone's coming from, and it is very complex. And
I'm just so passionate about my club, Tequila, as you are, as Philip is. I'm very passionate, and I'm trying to be level-headed about this, and I'm trying to be.
I don't think you can. This is what I mean. I don't think you can be level-headed.
No,
because
everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone's entitled to believe what they want to believe in. But when it comes to my club, by hell, I will go through hell and high water. I was there when we nearly went out of business. I was a fan, a 14-year-old, 13-year-old fan, going through, will I have a football club to support in the morning? I'd rather if Tottenham didn't get through that period, right, I would rather give up watching football than support any other team.
No, I get that as well. I understand that as well. I mean, personally speaking, I came from an Arsenal family who begged me to be an Arsenal fan. And I said, no, it's not, so I've been fighting that since I was a kid against the Arsenal. But even I would have preferred us to win over what Arsenal did. Yeah. But I wish I had an answer for you, Dave.
No, it is a bit of a decisive subject, but I'm not going to back down. I don't think you feel the same as me. Philip feels the same as me. We all love Tottenham. At the end of the day, we all want Tottenham to do well. And whatever you wanted them to lose because of the Arsenal thing. And another thing as well, I'll get to the chat in a minute, guys. Sorry, I just really got to get this off my chest. Another thing as well is we're being accused we're not true fans because we wanted Tottenham to win last night.
No. That stuff, I think... That would just, you should try, and as hard as it is, Dermo, you should try and let that roll off, because no fan's got a right to tell any other fan either way that they're a true fan or not.
Saying that because you don't get the rivalry, you don't get that. I was in Dave's chat. Yes, I was on Dave's show yesterday, and there was a fella putting in the chat on Dave's show yesterday, Pump Up, saying, "Oh, so you want to go up and give Arteta the Premier League trophy?" Just because I wanted my team to win. Do you know what? I couldn't care less what Arsenal do. They're not the centre of my universe. I couldn't give a rat's ass if Arsenal were to win, lose, draw, or sit in there and play dominoes with themselves. I really don't care. I care about my family, I care about my partner, my children, and then I care about Tottenham. That's it. That's all I care about.
Let me ask you this, Dermo, then. I mean, a great example to where we find ourselves is Liverpool and Everton. Two massive rivals, one being significantly successful over the other, especially in the last 20 to 30 years.
Yeah.
Do you think that they would also want the same thing if they were going to hand the title to Liverpool? Do you think they'd react the same way? It's a similar thing I can think of.
I think football fans are different to when I was younger, to be fair to Keeler on that question, because the Liverpool-Everton game was always a family derby.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It was always known as the family derby back in the day. You would have families, mum as an Everton fan, a dad as a Liverpool fan. It was all strict. But what I don't take, Tequila, is, I mean, just because you wanted your team to win, people that you don't understand the rivalry. I give you a rivalry. Celtic and Rangers, one of the biggest derbies in the world.
Yeah.
Right? People have died during that game because it goes a lot deeper than what it is between Tottenham and Arsenal.
1971.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And people can say about, I don't care what Arsenal do. I don't let them go into my headspace because I don't give a shit. I care about Tottenham Hotspur. I care about them winning. Ange wanted to win last night because he wanted to win a football match. And we got fans in the stand doing the Poznan.
Oh, I know what I do with them. I take their seat number and cancel their season ticket. That's what I do with them.
Do you have to be fucking off your rocker to turn your back on your team and do with the Poznan because Man City scored? If this was played early in the season, right, when it was due to be paid, there wouldn't be a fucking tickety-boo about it. And I feel the people that should hold the biggest responsibility for this, by the way, is the Premier League. They're the ones that rescheduled it. They're the ones that wanted to put it into this part to make the running for the championship more exciting. Done by Sky TV, done by TVs as well.
100%, man.
Put it into that date, guys. It'd be more exciting. And that's who I blame fully. I blame the Premier League and Sky TV.
It should never have been rescheduled for this week. Never. Absolutely not.
No.
It's just something. It's as if you believe in conspiracy theories, it's as if someone in Sky could foresee the problems this would cause Tottenham. I'll have a bit of that, and went ahead and rescheduled the game, knowing there'll be problems. You know.
Well, when the match was meant to take place in late February, wasn't it?
February or March, yeah.
So, what I wonder, where were we position-wise? We were probably in third or fourth.
Yeah.
February, fourth. Yeah. So maybe they kind of thought, well, we'll put it in the week to last because chances are these two teams are both going to be in the top four, which was nearly the case with us, just outside. But so they've built it up for their so-called entertainment. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they did it because of the Arsenal thing, but I don't know.
I do. I blame I blame Sky TV have too much of a foothold in the Premier League to put Sky's games that suit them. That's who I blame. And fans that are doing the Poznan, fans that sold their season tickets for last night's game should be banned as well, by the way.
Yeah, they should.
Especially if they sold them to Arsenal fans. If it's true that they sold them to Arsenal fans, that's, well.
Yeah. Philip, should we go through the chat and then we'll go through the topics which we're talking about today? We've got Carl Simpson. Good afternoon, gents. Can't stay for long. Just wanted to like the stream. Big up, Carl. We've got this Mr. Keeler. He says, big up, Mr. Simpson. We've got Liam Harty. Big up, Liam. He says, hi, all. We've got Louis Chill Music. Hey, guys. We've got Chris Welsh. Big up, Chris. He says, good evening. Or good evening. He says,
good
evening. Everyone, hope you're well. Emery messaged me that to say to the... Emery messaged me to the...
Good evening. Yeah, he's doing an Emery impression. Good evening. Yeah. Good evening.
Big up to Rosie. Hope you're doing well, honey. And she says, evening, gents. Hope you are well. Smash the likes and the subs. Big up, Rosie. She's a very big supporter of Full Time Sports Network. She's got her own channel as well, Rosie. So, Rosie, put your link in the channel so people can go and see you do some good stuff. We've got Oil Ham. He says, big up, lads. You know they all do it for clickbait.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. we're very we keep him very Philip on the leash today, because if we feel that we give Philip off the leash, he may go galloping. He's like a stallion.
It's only 20 past, Dermot. It's only 20 past.
Born in a China shop, Phil.
No, Philip is an Italian stallion.
Yeah,
he's
Italian
like
stallion.
Yeah. He's an Italian stallion. That's what Philip is. Anyway, that's why we called him the Godfather, the Italian stallion. That's where the nickname came from. Anyway, Jake Green. Philip's going to kill me later. How's it going, lads? Gorgeous day out there. It is lovely out there today. I'm still in shock about the fans celebrating a loss last night. Disgusting to me. Many fans. I get it's Arsenal, but our club is more important to finish fourth.
Yeah,
exactly. Chris says, I like O'Hara, but he was disgraceful last night.
Yeah, absolutely. Disgusting.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Carl says, it was seriously divisive situation. Do you want to read some of these out, Philip? I'm finding a bit.
It was a seriously divisive situation. I'm with Philip. I never want to see that again. Wish the game hadn't been rescheduled. Yeah, we more or less said that. It should have been done at a different time. But yeah. And Peter M is saying, big up down with Philip and Tequila and everyone in the chat.
Hey, Peter.
Peter and Carl again. Our fan base is fractured because of the lack of winning trophies and always being the bridesmaid. Hopefully, we'll see a better season next season. Yeah, well, that's what we're all. That's my prediction that all this season has been next season to watch us go.
Yeah,
hopefully.
And Peter M is saying, even if we won something, there would be fans who would carp. There's not enough. So your choice out. Yeah, but there's no pleasing some people. Just really,
No.
Spurs fans doing the positive was disgusting. I would get their seat number and eject them from the ground. That's what I would have done.
Yeah,
and
I think that's what Anne tried to do.
Yeah, afternoon, gents. Actually, Colin comes up with a very good point here.
Hang on.
Scotty boy said, hi guys, hope you're feeling much better today after being on the panel last night. Big shout out to Spurs. Please give my beloved Celtic, the boys, a shout out. Hopefully win the league. Absolutely, Scotty boy. We are rooting for Celtic.
Up the boys, up the Celtic Greenway Army.
You more or less nailed it last week by beating Rangers. So one more point is all you need. Same as us, one more point to the promised land. That's all we need. Because they're winning the title and we're not. Anyway, Carl is saying, I agree, Peter. You can sit there and think what you want, but to do a Poznan in our stadium, they should be banned. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Chris Loney was looking to drive 2,180 miles from Friday, Perth to Melbourne. Not now. I want to see Levy say something about last night. Geez, that's some trip. Bloody hell. I don't know. Well, I think maybe somebody in the club should come out and make a statement. We'll see. It may well still come.
Maybe.
And DJ Samuel is a member for 11 months. Well done, DJ. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your
nearly
support.
A whole year, Philip, of watching us.
I know. Amazing what gets rocks on people's boats, isn't it?
It is. I know. Just you can put away your special
DJ.
Toys now.
Yeah.
I hope the meds are doing you well, DJ.
Big up, DJ. Thank you so much. 11 months. You are an absolute legend, and congratulations. So thank you. It means a lot to me and Philip. It really does. And be like DJ as well. Pick up your memberships. We've got a lot of member stuff coming up in the summer. We've got a new idea for after watch-alongs. We're going to get your members on after the game for about an hour afterwards. Me and Philip are going to stay on. So we get your members to come on and talk about the game. Or we'll talk about the Premier League games. So we've got that in the pipeline for next season. So grab your memberships.
Good idea.
They are well worth it. And it keeps me and Philip doing what we love doing. And Tequila as well. And Colin, who's now joined the channel, sort of. There's a restructuring. One person's head honcho. We won't tell you who that is. You can see.
Anyway, Chris Loney saying, hi, Scotty boy. 12:18 a.m. here, waiting to see the league wrapped up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, tonight, I think Celtic are playing. So that should
they are.
Peter M, I was accused of not being a true fan on another fan channel. Dermot will empathise with you there, Peter.
Yeah.
I was insulted given that, unlike younger fans, I've actually followed the club in Division 2 like I have. So, yeah. The people that are accusing the likes of Peter of not being true fans are the same ones that wanted us to lose last night and also doing the Poznan. So I wouldn't have given them too much time or thought, to be honest with you. Lose chill music when there's a Newcastle match in Melbourne. It's next Tuesday or Wednesday, I think.
It is the 29th. It's the 29th of May.
No, it's the 22nd. The 22nd. It's this day week.
It's the 29th?
No, it's not. It's the 22nd.
Is that, okay.
It's this day week.
It's only a couple of days after the last.
It's only 3 days after the season finishes, Dermot.
We'll be doing a live watch along. Well, I will be anyway. I don't know, Philip.
It's 9:00 in the morning. It should be all right. Chris Loney saying, "Head down. Many are not fans, entitled brats." Nice way to put it. Absolutely.
It is.
And this is the one this is a very good comment from Colin. United could have rolled over the weekend to allow Arsenal to get a few goals and goal difference up simply because we don't want City winning the league. But we didn't, and not a single fan of Manchester United. I think the following says supporters was cheering Arsenal on in that game. Exactly. It's a pity our fans didn't take a leaf out of United's book because let's face it, they're in exactly the same position as us. Their local rivals are winning the league or trying to win the league. So, fair dues to the United. By the way, Colin, I don't know if you heard that there's 2 tickets available for the match tonight against Newcastle in the shallow end.
Did you see Old Trafford after the game on Sunday? The river.
Unbelievable.
No offense, Colin, but Old Trafford has become the 9th wonder of the world.
I think the rain was incredibly heavy, though. I mean, no normal structure could have taken that amount of rain, but it's like a waterfall coming down to the stand.
How shocking is it to see Old Trafford like that, though? Seriously, though.
One of the iconic grounds of the country, best ground in the country for years, and now it really, really needs a refurb, big time.
And how shocked were you, Tequila, to see that?
Well, I already know they've already bought most of the supply of blue tack to keep it up. So the sales of blue tack have gone through, especially in that area.
It's called red tack in Manchester.
Red tack, it's been there that long. Yeah, they couldn't be blue. Yeah, they have to
be blue.
It is the most iconic stadium in the world football, Old Trafford, and to see it if Tottenham Hotspur if White Hart Lane was like that, we'd be rarely embarrassed.
Well, I mean, it's a big thing to say that Old Trafford was always the first ground picked for an England ground outside London. Now it's not even on the list for the Europeans, so that shows you how much it's gone down in the rankings, Anyway, Chris Loney again, Rodgers a traitor, can't take him. That's Brendan Rodgers, I think you're talking about there. Yeah, the guy that nearly lost it for Celtic. I mean, Celtic are not a patch on the team they were last season, that's for sure.
I refuse to watch Celtic while he's there, Philip.
I'll watch them all right. I'll watch them, but they're not as good a watch as they used to be,
No.
And Carl Simpson says Sky Sports schedule manner is Paul Merson. Yeah.
Philip's favourite person, by the way.
The man that said we finish in mid-table this season or worse.
Yeah.
So thanks, Paul. Good for that. And Michael McDonald, long time no see, lads. How are you, Michael? Ange will win the lot for you. Give him time.
Exactly.
I love comments like that. That's it. That sums it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Given time.
Question is now, guys, is that will Ange give us the time, considering how he's probably feeling after the last couple of days?
He will. Carl is saying the fans that sold the tickets are in trouble, and rightly so. Yeah.
Do you mean to Arsenal fans, Carl?
I think
they have to be to Arsenal fans or City fans. Yeah. And Carl saying you should see Phillips drunk and absolutely destroyed it in anger, and he owes the public TV. You're nearly right. You're absolutely nearly right. Where I was sitting last night, I was looking straight at the TV. And I'll tell you one thing: I never made as many mistakes in all my life. I watched the video today, and I'm disgusted by my performance. But it was purely because I was watching it. I was more interested in the match than playing the music. Anyway.
Yeah.
Michael is saying that was the quietest I've heard in your stadium. Yeah, for a very good reason. Like I was there on Saturday at Burnley, and there was a great atmosphere. The noise was deafening at times, especially in the second half when we really got at them. But last night, I mean, people didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
it was muted. It was half-hearted. It was, I think a lot of the fans wanted Spurs to win, but didn't want the people next door to know they wanted them to win in case they were in the other camp.
Probably scared of having fights breaking out amongst their own fans.
Exactly. Yeah.
Crazy as it sounds.
A terrible last game of the season, to have that atmosphere. And the last game of the season at home should be a joyous and party atmosphere, but there was anything but last night. Anyway, Danielle Zita is saying, what has top four done for us? Nothing. We never do anything with it. We never get quality players to see our money, but it sets the money on craft and won't take us forward and pitch like Johnson. Very unfair comment, Daniel, I have to say. We have bought good players. Look at the big Mickey van der Ven. You're saying he's not quality. You're saying Vicario's not quality.
This is what I was saying earlier, guys, about some fans. And I'm not sounding Daniela out. It's not just her, but some fans who have that idea that because they don't care about top four, that's why they might as well. They'd rather, because they don't care about top four, they'd rather Arsenal win. Don't agree with it, but a lot of fans feel that way.
Look, I can understand. I can understand where Daniela's coming from in a way. I can understand it because we have got a lot of Champions League football, but apart from getting to the final once, have we really pushed on from that after that final?
Well,
not really.
I can get what she's trying to say.
Yeah, but look at this comment here. We never get quality players with CL money. Van de Ven was bought with last season's Champions League money. So was Vicario.
Yeah, but
so that knocks that argument out of the water. Okay, we bought some rubbish. We bought some players that should never have been allowed, but it's not. You can't generalize and say we never buy quality players. We have bought quality players.
Yeah,
and we'll continue to buy quality players.
Have we though? Have we wasted? Look, let's put it this way: have we wasted an opportunity with the Champions League money to really push on to go to another level, or have we wasted it on the wrong players?
Well, I'll go on the players that we bought. Dragusin came on last night. Had an excellent.
No, I meant in the past, Philip. I'm
not worried about the past. I'm not worried about the past. It's only the present season and last season that we can go on because that's the money. That's the players we bought in and that were on the pitch last night. They're the only ones that matter. In previous seasons, it's gone and dusted. We can't do anything about it. We can do something about it now. I think apart with one or two exceptions, I don't think Richarlison was a perfectly sensible buy a couple of seasons back. But I think the guys that we bought last summer are very, very good. And look at the young lads we've got coming in, like Lucas Bergvall coming in from Sweden, the likes of that. They're all going to be there next season. Mikey Moore made his debut last night. I know he's an academy player, but I don't think the money has been really, really wasted. And certainly they're not crap. I mean, anyone that can say Vicario was crap after the saves he made last night must be
I think she's more on about Brennan Johnson, how poor he's been.
Yeah, but Johnson's a young player. Gareth Bale wasn't great in his first season. And give Johnson time. Give him time.
I'm on that argument as well, Philip. I'm on that side of the fence as well, to be fair. Give him time. He will come good. I think he needs a pre-season in him. A proper pre-season with Ange. I think. But look, Daniela, we respect your opinion. Philip does, I do, Tequila does. We love your comments in here as well. And it's a really good decisive comment because it got us talking. It's got us debating. We won't agree with it, but we'll certainly debate it, Yeah, so big up Danielle. And let us know how Leighton Orient got on. I forgot where they finished, actually.
No, Daniela, I'm right on that right away. No, I personally.
Hang on, we will get to that. We will get to that. Okay. We've got Michael McDonald. Celtic will win the league tonight. The Cup's against the Huns. That's true. We've got Chris saying Wednesday. Jamie Wotan. Hey up, lads.
A Sheffield United fan.
Yeah. New to this channel. Well, welcome. Firstly, welcome to the channel. You're more than welcome to come in.
And do us a favour on Sunday, Jamie, and just let us beat you.
Philip, this is the idea of the channel. Was the welcome under fans in, wasn't it? That's the
whole. Yeah. So
welcome to the channel. Firstly,
I'm actually quite sorry to see Sheffield United going back down again because
I am.
I like the manager and then there's some decent players there, but
be interesting to hear also, Phil, about how would a Sheffield United fan rate their season? Bottom of the league, going down, obviously, and
over 100 goals conceded.
I mean, it must be a tough league for you, Jamie.
So, tough watch. I mean, fans that go and watch that every week they are the real fans. They are the ones that stick with it week in, week out. And you see how close they came to beating us early in the season. They won the game with 112 minutes or something like that. So
There's a question, isn't there, Philip, in the post-match season show, which is the best moment of the season? I think for me, it's watching you doing the knee slide after we got the winner against Sheffield United. You were there 1 minute and disappeared off the next. Honestly, I must find that and clip that bit, actually, for you. I must find that, so you can find that and clip that. Colin is welcome. He says, welcome in, mate. Sorry, Philip, here. Wayne Bonner.
Wayne is saying, how many of those supposed fans want to see the win, us to lose last night are probably pissed off that we won't get Champions League?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you can't want us to lose last night and be pissed off because not getting Champions League. Because to get Champions League, we had to win last night. You can't have it both ways. Sorry. Ange made a point.
Wayne, I hope there wasn't any Wayne, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's so insane to me, that contradictory. I hope there's none.
by wanting City to win, you're saying we don't want Spurs to qualify for the Champions League.
Well, that's what I mean. I can't imagine there's any otherwise. Yeah. I don't know.
Mad. Anyway, Parliament said I had to prove I could swim in the deep water to purchase a ticket for tonight's game. Yeah.
Oh, this is I really feel for Matt. That was even the. Yeah, did you see at the bottom there, Philip?
I'll tell you, that's manna from heaven. That's brilliant news. The column is saying breaking news.
Now, do you want to read that one?
Yeah, Premier League club is set to hold a vote at their AGM next month on a proposal to abolish the video assistant referee VAR system from the start of next season. Please do. That would be great news.
He's put it in twice.
Yeah, it's so good. So it's like New York. So good they named it twice. You know.
Are you happy with that news, Philip?
Well, I am because you know me, I'm VAR. I don't like it at all. I don't mind the system. It's the monkeys that are running it that get it for me. You know.
Will they get rid of it though?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Will it come to that? You probably find clubs won't want to get rid of it. They're probably they like the Liverpool and Arsenal will probably benefit most from it. Will probably want to keep it. You know.
All the fans will want to get rid of it.
Yeah,
because every fan base thinks it's kind of biased towards other teams. Honestly, every fan base thinks that. So.
And Daniela's saying, "Would you guys buy Werner?" I'm becoming less confident on that one.
I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't personally.
I'm going to disagree with a lot of you because I can.
Oh, go on in, Dermo.
I would buy him.
I'm undecided at the minute, so
Get off the fence, Philip. Get off the fence.
No, I'm not on the fence, but I'm just thinking. You know, what can we need a more dedicated striker up there now, not another wingman. You know.
Yeah. So look, there's something for the chat. I'm going to put it as a poll. Would you buy Werner in the summer? So let me put that in. Philip, do you want to take the? Hang on. There's that one there.
Okay. And Daniela said we need quality this summer. If we don't get it, then the club is a massive failure, just like the last 24 years. Yeah. And again, you know, we haven't won trophies since 2008. There's lots of positives about the club, but they seem to be forgotten in times like this when we have a bit of a crisis like last night. You know, you've got the stadium, we have a manager now that will bring us places. So we'll get it right this summer. I think Ange's got his shopping list gone into Daniel Levy. And from what we believe, it's been ticked off. He's going to get who he wants or most of who he wants. So let's wait and see.
Right, that poll has now gone in. The question is, would you take Werner? Yes, no, or maybe. We've got one, no's winning at the moment by 100%. I tell you, this poll it's jumping. It should be interesting.
Dermo, it depends where you want me to take him. Do you want me to drop him off a cliff or something? Can I take him now?
I don't know. Now, Philip, these are the topics today that we're going to talk about. Angie's fury about what happened after the game. We've got a little bit from our source about breaking news this morning. About what's happened, the sort of aftermath, isn't it, guys, of last night's game. We've got the Man City versus the Premier League. Philip got some insider news from his source, from an Irish journalist. We didn't ask where Philip found this journalist, but apparently under a bush outside the Dublin pub. But we just leave that where it lays. We've got Spurs versus Man City. We're going to go through the stats, the games, the player ratings. We're going to get Phillips and Tequila's player ratings. And then what did Ange mean, the last topic, about fragile foundations? So that is the topics today, guys. So let's crack on with it. Now, Philip and Tequila and the guys, this is what was sent to us this morning by our source. Now, it's from a very reliable source, isn't it, Philip? I can guarantee this is 100% genuine, isn't it? You've seen the same thing I have.
I'm just hoping that this obviously happened last night, this morning. I'm hoping things have calmed down a bit since then. But Daniel has apologised for the fan base of Tottenham right enough. He need to because anyway, I won't pass any more comment on that. There are rumours currently circulating that Ange may be prepared to walk away from Tottenham due to the 12th man issue, 12th man being the crowd and the fans, experiencing the game between Man City. A meeting will take place with Daniel and Ange in the coming days to discuss his future at the club and to resolve the current issues rather than the leewise. Now, I'm hoping that is just a routine meeting, which I'm sure they have all the time, to discuss players that he wants in and what have you. My feeling on you, this has been my feeling since 1 o'clock this morning, Dermot, that Ange was in a strop last night, rightly so, for what was going on, what he saw going on in the stadium. And I would have been just in the same position as him if I was there. But I think time is a great healer. And I think he'll realize that a few idiot fans are not enough to drive him out of a job that he's getting there on. And the next season, we'll see the ultimate progress that this club has made. So I'd be extremely disappointed and absolutely gutted if he walked away over a fan base thing like that. It'd be different if Daniel Levy had turned around and said, "You're not getting any money this summer." That's fair enough. That's a real reason to leave. But this is not a real reason to leave. So I'll leave it at that.
Look, Tequila, do what you're saying it from that bit of.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. When long-time fans of Ange have said they've never seen him that way. I mean, I don't know him as well as you guys because I didn't see that much of him at Celtic, so I can't tell you how accurate that is. But I'll take you guys' word for it. But what I did think more than anything else is that it's almost like I heard another channel. I'm not going to get into names. Say, "Well, welcome to Tottenham, Ange." Like, did you not realise that this is kind of where the player base? The fan base is that we are that divided, and maybe it's something he's really not used to, being at a club where the fan base is so divided that it actually was a shock to him to see at least half the fan base probably not backing their team, because it's probably something he's really not experienced. And I imagine he wants to galvanize everybody, from obviously the players and the fan base. He wants to galvanize all of us together. And that's what I think he meant, which we'll get onto later, when he said, "I have to go back to the start." Because I think he now maybe realizes exactly what he's working with when it comes to our fan base being so fractured. That's what I think.
One thing I'll just add to that. I think I slightly disagree with what you say about him not being aware of what the fractured fan base was like. I think Ange is no fool. He would have looked at what happened to Antonio Conte last season and the reasons behind it, and he would have known. He came into this job with his eyes wide open. And okay, maybe he mightn't have expected something like last night. None of us could have predicted that, really. You think about it. But I think it's just it's a natural reaction of anger and shock and horror at what happened last night, and he'll get over it, because he realizes the end result here is far more important than what happened last night.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Phil. Sorry, Dermo, just very quickly. I agree, Phil, with what you're saying, that Ange is not a fault. But I do think that Conte's rant was not at the actual player fan base. I do believe it wasn't actually at the fan base, whereas this one has been a lot more about the fan base. And because if you look at the match, which we'll get into in a minute, the players actually were up for it. So,
yeah, they were, absolutely. That speaks volumes. If the players had gone out on the pitch and played half-heartedly, like they did against Arsenal and Chelsea, well, not maybe not the second half against Arsenal, but yeah, you think, hang on, there's a problem in the dressing room there. But those players, if you saw, listen, I'll use Bentancur's reaction to be substituted as my point. He was absolutely fuming when he was taken off.
Yeah.
And look at the reaction. They'll probably send him a bill now for the chair that he wrecked.
$5 million.
But that's what you like to see. I love to see that.
Yeah, me too.
Look, my personal view in this is I'm worried Ange might walk. Now, I know, Philip, that's your opinion, and I think you're right in your opinion, to be fair, but I'm worried. I am very worried. Ange might say, "Do you know what? I have principles. I have a certain amount of principles that I stand by." And he walked out of the Australian job when he qualified them for a World Cup because of people saying about the way he's footballing tactics and the way he plays the game. He walked out in them. Right, you don't want me here, then you want to do it your way, then do it. I'm gone. Ange is no fool. And where I agree with you, Philip, is Ange probably will calm down and he will go back to the drawing board and he will look at it and think, right, I have to change things here. But what he saw last night from fans was probably an eye-opener. It was probably a wake-up call. I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I'm giving this club my everything, and fans can't even get up to support us in one game. And I think that's what his issues were.
It was a shock. It was a shock of what he saw.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's unheard of, though, but that's never happened in the history of the Premiership, where half the fans of a home team wanted the away team to win.
Yeah.
Never ever happened before, and probably never will happen again.
I'm worried he's going to walk, and I am worried he's going to walk. I'm very worried he's going to walk.
I'm completely confident he'll stay.
Yeah, I'm with Phil on this one, Dermo.
I don't want Ange to go. I think me and Paul are on the same. You're probably right, Philip, in what you're saying, but I am extremely worried that he will walk.
Because a year's work is going to throw a year's work down the drain.
But if you've got principles, Philip, that you stand by.
Of course, yes. Everyone has principles, but this is something that he was an outsider looking in on last night. This wasn't someone came up to him and gave him a Glasgow kiss and told him he's making the balls of the club. That would be a reason to leave. You know, the fact that fans were misguided by supporting Manchester City last night, as I said, never happened before. Total shock to the system. I'm not surprised he was so shell-shocked after the game. But I think you'll find today, tomorrow, he'll have calmed down a bit and will realise that the job is bigger than what happened last night.
Yeah, but if you look at it this way, hang on, sorry, Tequila, I let you in, sorry.
No,
if you look at it this way, that if he's got principles that he won't budge from, and that he feels he's got no other option but to walk because of what happened last night, would you blame him?
No,
hypothetically, Philip, right? I'm asking you a hypothetical question. So, if he did walk because of last night, hypothetically, and that was the reason why he walked, would you blame him?
Yes, I would. I'd say he's shying away from a job that he now realizes may be too big for him if he walks. If he stays, he realizes that he can do the job. That's why I expect him to stay.
But everyone's got to be pulling the same way, Philip.
Oh, yeah. But that's the thing. I mean, you're never going to get the full fan base. What I would require is the players to be fully behind them because they're the ones that perform on the pitch. They're the ones that get the point.
Yeah.
The fans will follow if the players do what their job paid for, what they're paid to do.
I mean, Michael says here, Tequila, I thought Ange was different when he was with Celtic, but he lied to the fans. I still don't know.
All he said, he didn't have the offer from Spurs in when he said he was going to stay at Celtic. So, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, what would worry me, Joe? The only thing that would worry me was if someone at Liverpool came in with an offer for him now when he's a bit vulnerable.
And Man United.
Man United. Then maybe, that might be legs on that one, but I don't see that happening really.
No.
I don't see.
Tequila, what's your final say in this? Me and Philip, before we move on to the next subject.
I'd like to think that Ange comes across as a smart bloke. He's an older manager. He's not old, but he's certainly on the older side. I'd like to believe that even if he had a bad experience with that game yesterday, that he must have realised that it's not all fans; it's some of the fans.
Yeah.
So, with that saying, if he is upset with the fan base, that's fair enough. With that, for argument's sake, 50%. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was 50% or not, but he must realise that maybe when he said he's got to go back to the beginning, that he's got to kind of change the mentality of some of the fan base because he's got to realise it wasn't. You can't condemn the whole fan base because of what some of them did. That's my point. So that's why I don't think he'll walk. It might have pissed him off a little bit, but surely cooler heads will prevail and he realised, okay, so maybe I've got to do something to try and change that 50% of the fans' mentality so they're on board. I'm hoping that's what he meant.
One thing I'll say, if you look back at the video that Chris Cowland took last Saturday when the players were doing the walkabout after the Burnley game, right? I put a picture of Ange and his wife and his two kids standing. They were videoing the South Bank, the South Stand, singing the Ange Postecoglou song, right? That to me, he knows how much the majority of the fans love him and want him to stay. And if he's thinking, okay, which one do I take more to heart, Saturday or last night? If he thinks back and said the love that was shown to him on Saturday should be enough to say, well, this is the club that wants me to be here and I'm staying.
Yeah. Whatever happens going to happen, Philip. Paul Pablo said, let's have the truth here. Mourinho, Conte all have realised they can't get the necessary backing. Ange is in the same now, and this through previous, even Poch as well, to come with him. Philip, we've been told, and I think we've had it confirmed by more than one source that we use, Ange is going to be well back.
He's getting the backing. He got it last transfer. He got the last two transfer windows to buy the players we brought in. He's going to get it in spades this summer. So I don't think that's a real issue, Paul. He will be back this time.
Yeah.
And
what's it around?
200 million plus sales.
250 million plus sales, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And that comes from a 100% reliable source. So that is we're going to be able to buy players in the summer and get rid of some of the driftwood that's going to clogging up the system, like Ben Davies and the likes of him. Yeah. So we will be, I think there'll be a pretty much 50% new Tottenham team taking the field in the first game of next season.
And Ange in charge.
Ange in charge, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, any more news on this, guys, you'll get it here first on Thfc till I die. It's the home of the breaking news here. Either been myself, Philip, or even myself and Tequila, myself and Philip, or even Philip, whatever. One of us will bring you all the breaking news, and you can guarantee that for a fact because we are your breaking news YouTube channel. Now, Mr. Brady, you were up in Dublin yesterday doing your bit of a drumming, and you had a conversation with your source, your source from Dublin. It is an Irish reporter who you know well. Now, Man City thing. When you told me this, Philip, I was absolutely shocked when you told me about this.
Well, I've heard little snippets down the last few months that City are doing everything they can to obstruct the progress of the investigation into the 115 financial irregularities, right? And what's happening now, apparently, is this. Obviously, the investigators are hitting City with queries and questions to answer, right? And City have employed, or at least one, maybe more, hotshot barristers who are running to the high courts. Now, what they're actually doing is delaying answering the queries, right? And if they can get away with it, they will actually go to the high court to get injunctions to stop the questions having to be answered. That the questions are either unrelated to whatever there's been in whatever's been investigated or whatever. But the talk is this could actually run for another 5 years before all there'll be if they're found guilty, they'll appeal it. And that'll delay it even further. So Manchester City, that's why I was so disgusted to see the fans celebrating last night. I would love to see next year them celebrating getting promoted out of League Two. That's where they deserve to be. The way they've treated every other football fan in the country with their cheating and their financial irregularities. Everton, Nottingham Forest get done for one. City, 115, nothing's happened because they have got the money to delay things. Money talks, bullshit walks.
Exactly.
Right. Let me ask you a question then. You've got the Premier League who have been pretty in depth of doing anything on this, but they are behind the scenes trying to sort this out. But you wait for found them guilty. And if anyone's watched the YouTube documentary on YouTube, The Biggest Football Scandal, I think it's called, give that a watch. So look, my question to you is, and I'll start with Tequila this one first, Philip, and then you, Philip. Why is the Premier League taking so long when the evidence is already there?
Personally, I think it's to figure out how to handle the damage that's going to come from it when it comes to them being. See, if they would have been a mid-table club, it would have been sorted just like you've seen with Everton and Forest and stuff like that. Because those teams, there's no damage really. Yeah, there's a points deduction. It might affect this year's relegation, which it's ended up not affecting as of this minute anyway. But because with City, because then you have all their titles and all the Premiership dominance they've had, it damages the league. And I just think they it's like sticking their head in the sand. Like they don't really want to do it because it's going to damage the league, but eventually they're going to have to. But they're just sticking their heads in the sand alongside, as Phil's just said with this report, is that they've got the best lawyers money can buy, and they're going to drag it through the courts for as long as it takes, as long as their money will let them do it.
And there's also an unconfirmed report. Now, this is unconfirmed, okay? Now, don't take this to heart. This may be true, may not be true. Is that because Manchester City are basically owned by the Abu Dhabi establishment, okay? Abu Dhabi is an oil-producing country. There is also unconfirmed rumours that Abu Dhabi have had a word with the British government to say, listen, lads, if Manchester City get a heavy punishment here, you might find the price of oil going up quite severely.
Yeah.
So there's more to this than meets the eye, you know?
And it wouldn't really shock anyone if that was the case, would it?
No.
No. just very quickly, I forgot to start this, Philip. To Chris's comment here but Philip, there's a huge daily toxic output from Spurs YouTubers. Job not too big. I wouldn't blame him. Do you think that plays a factor in if he stays or goes, Philip? Or...
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Like, I'll give you the reason for answering that. Somebody asked him last night. Whatever the answer was, I forget what the question was. Something to do with the game. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. So he's not taking. He wasn't even going to pass comment on Bentancur kicking the chair.
He didn't care, did he?
I don't care about that. So if he doesn't care about that, he doesn't care about what's on YouTube.
Yeah,
because I think these guys are they know what they're protected an awful lot. They wouldn't know what's going on a lot of the time. Okay, maybe you start looking now after last night, but no, I don't think that will make him go.
If I can just jump in a sec, Phil, he had a press conference a couple of weeks ago where he says he actually, he doesn't actually mind these questions. He's used to it, and he was more or less saying, when I was in Australia, mate, do you think I didn't get these questions? When I was in Japan, mate, do you think I didn't get these questions? He's used to all this. It's a different club, but he's used to being asked the same questions by the player, by the fan base. He's been used to it, because in all the places he's gone, they've always said the same thing: is this level above you? Because obviously he was in the J League, and then he's gone obviously to Scottish, and Premiership is a big jump up, but it's still the same thing. And every time he's answered his critics with doing very well for himself. So why is this any different for him? It's not.
And Chris also puts in here a great comment. He says the overseas companies funding City are refusing to provide finance evidence. Nothing the Premier League can do. I've heard a minimum 3 years with new
legislation
being introduced. Yeah,
well, that kind of backs up what I'm saying. They're doing everything they can to stymie the investigation. So, anyway, and let's see. Tony Young is saying, can't get over some pod people applauding City's goal. Bloody disgusting. Yeah, we've been through that one already. It was last night was a one-off. Hopefully, it'll never ever happen again.
I'll be honest, guys. There are. I really don't want to name names. I don't want to get into that. I really don't. So I'm not going to. But there were some channels that I do generally follow, and I thought my opinion of them has been damaged.
Yeah.
By what I saw last night.
I've seen a couple of them that will be the more respected channels now who appear to join the dark side. Anyway.
I don't care about any channels. I care about this channel, and this channel will be true to itself.
No, but we're just saying, with some of the channels that you would expect better.
No, I heard what you said, Philip, but I'm just saying this channel will be true to itself.
Yeah.
This channel will be. If we say something, we're going to stick by it. We're not going to jump on any bandwagon.
Well, Dermot, also, if the conversation you had with Hotspur Hippie, obviously earlier in the morning, even he says that some of his real life mates as well has really shocked him with how they've reacted as well. So it might actually damage some of his real life friends that he's got in London, which is terrible, isn't it?
It is. Well, look, I think it's a situation. Let's get on about the game. Of course, Tottenham Hotspur were playing Manchester City. There was a game actually last night, guys. As people seem to forgot,
Apparently
there was a game. 61,065 of them were there, apparently. So something happened. It was an 8 o'clock kickoff. Man City scored 2 goals in the game last night against Manchester City. Now, this is my team rating, so I get Phillips and Tequila's next. I've given 7 to Vicario, Paro, Romero, Drugensen, and Van der Ven. I've given 7, 7.5, 8, and 7.5. I made Rudu my man of the match for Tottenham, by the way.
Yes.
Do you need to go, Philip?
I will shortly. I think I'm getting comments from the staff. I'm getting comments from the terraces here.
All right. Well, listen, you go, Philip. Me and Tequila can finish this.
Yeah, if you don't mind. You'll mean 6 o'clock, so I have to go.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. You go.
Right,
we finish.
I'll talk to you tomorrow, lads. Okay.
All right. Speak to you later,
care,
Philip. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. There you go, Mr. Brady. Oh dear.
He knows what the right thing to do is. He's smart. Smart man is Phil.
Yeah. Just run and hide.
Right.
So I've gone. Rudy was my man in the match. I've gone 7.5 for Bentancur, 6.5 for Højbjerg, 7 for Madison, 7 for Papasar, 7 for Johnson, and 7 for Sonny. What was your play ratings? Are you the same, Tequila, or are you a bit different?
I'm not that far off. I think I've got most of the same. I don't do the 0.5. That's just what I'm like. So I think Vicario, I think 7's bang on for him. I think the back line overall was pretty damn good. You might say that Van der Ven, maybe you lose 20% maybe his overall ability.
Yeah.
But that's still way better than, with all due respect, having Emerson Royal there or Skippy, really. So me and you have spoken for a couple of weeks, wanting him to try this. And why he left it to Man City to try this, I'm not sure, but he waited until this time to do it, and I think overall it was a positive experience. So
would there be a reason of agent?
I'd like to hope not, but maybe I'll make Danny is that a you know what, Ange, just put him in there, yeah. I hope not. I hope that Ange, it's all right, mate. I've got the same thing as you. I'd like to think that Ange is still the boss man. He does what he wants, and I don't want to think anything else.
No.
But overall, no. I think yes. I think the ideal back four is going to have Ndogi as a left back and Van der Ven. I think Dragusin is third choice, and I think he'll probably remain third choice the next year. And we'll get ourselves a proper left back to compete with Ndogi. So Van der Ven, I'd give 7. I think Romero, I'd give a 7. I think I'd give the whole back line a 7. Dragusin, maybe for his debut, I'm going to cut him a bit of slack. I'm going to give him an 8 for his full.
Okay.
Yeah. I think in the midfield, I thought Bentancur was 7. I thought Højbjerg was okay, actually. I thought he was all right, and I'm not his biggest fan. I'll give him a 7. Maddison, I actually didn't think he was that great. I'm going to give him a 6, so slightly lower than you. So I'm going to give a 7. The forward line, Sonny, for missing that miss. So much talk's been made, Dermo. Did he do it? I'd like to think that Sonny is professional enough that he wouldn't do that. That he just made a bad shot and that he didn't intentionally fluff it or aim it right at the keeper. I don't want to believe that personally, but
no.
I'm going to give him a 6, and Johnson I'll give a 7. That's what I'm going with, Prof.
I think that's fair. Put it in your chat as well, guys, what your play ratings is for the team tomorrow night. Louis Chill Music said we played well in the first half, to be honest.
We did.
Tony Young, you're very kind. You are true Tottenham supporters. Thank you so much, Tony.
Thanks,
you're very kind by that. And that's nice. It's very kind of you to say thank you. And then Carl Simpson says, some within Tottenham have been keen to secure a top 4 finish, but recognise that progress has been made during Postecoglou's first season in charge and believe its approach will pay off. Matt Law. So that is the latest on Ange. Tony Young said, worried about VDV's hamstring. We'll see what happens for the last game of the season. These were the match stats. Very quickly, Tequila, we are stat-wise, we've done better than Man City, to be fair.
We did, and I hate to rag on the forward line, but you know that I think that's the weakest area of our team significantly.
I think so.
And if we could have just Sonny does what Sonny used to do, then that's not a goal. We go a goal up, and the game changes, and who knows what would have happened? They would have had to have come out a bit more, and who knows what would have happened? Shots on target, identical. We had more shots than them. Touches, it's very similar. If you look, there's not much difference in most of these, mate. So considering we're playing the most likely champions, the dominating team of the last 5 years, we've done well as we have done against them over the years. So I wasn't upset with. I was more upset with what I was hearing rather than what I was seeing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, Chris says here that was City's best side, and we did very well. This summer's quality striker signing will make a massive difference. I think
it will.
100%. It really will. And then we're better than City. The only difference was they have someone who can actually score. Well, to be fair, Haaland did nothing in that whole game. Absolutely jack all.
But he did what he was bought for, and that is just to put the ball in the net. That's
exactly.
It.
Now, this was Ange after the game when he spoke to Sky Sports. He said it's a disappointing result, a tight game decided by big moments that they took. We didn't. It's all about, I've always said it, Tequila, it's all about taking your chances in the Premier League. It's a business of taking your chances. We didn't so disappointing. They didn't dominate in areas they normally dominate. We had a good control of the game for the most part, limited their opportunities, and had some good moments ourselves. The first goal was disappointing because there was a lack of discipline there. But after that, we had 2 or 3 big chances to get back into the game. And you have to take them against opposition like City. You're not going to create a bag full of chances against City. And when they come, you have to take them. So he's spot on what he says. But this is the bit that was also taken afterwards, Tequila, in the other bit of press conference. Couple of quotes he came out with when he said, the last 48 hours has revealed to me the foundations are fairly fragile. When he was asking about foundations of the club and can you see what you're trying to build? And then he was asked, what did he mean by that? And then he came out and said, it's inside the club, outside, inside, you shake it all around, you do the hokey-cokey, and you turn around.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Everywhere, but it's been an interesting exercise. It's just my observations, mate. He was asked to, ask them that. And then when he was quizzed on the first Spurs fans chants, his words were, I'm not interested, mate. I just don't care. Maybe I'm out of step, but I just don't care. I just want to win. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, Tequila.
Yep.
What do you read into that?
It's a difficult one. But what I will say is, and I understand this is why I think, Dermo, last night in your late night show, you were kind of very worried about Ange leaving, because what this is going to do, it's the people who want Ange out already, and we know it's been a growing number, rightly or wrongly, it's there. This isn't going to do him any favors with those people. This reply is not going to do him any favors with those people. So you might say, well, they've already made their mind up. Doesn't matter. Well, if you're somebody on the fence about Ange, I don't think this looks great. However, if you really, really look at it, I think he's more surprised. I don't think people have compared this to what Antonio Conte did, even Phil did earlier, which I do disagree with. Because I really believe that the Conte was not about the fan base at all. I don't think he said anything about the fan base. It was all about the players and the board. That's what it was. When looking at Ange's comments, it's the inside of the club stuff. I just wonder who he means by that. Is it some of the players? Because we already know that he thinks that some of them aren't on board. So is he referring to that? Or is this the closest you're going to see from Ange taking an ever small little pop at the board, which didn't do Conte any favours?
It's nothing to do with the board.
You don't think it's anything to do with the board at all?
No, I think it's to do with the atmosphere inside the stadium, because he said it before that them fans have got them over games in the past.
Yeah.
I think it's a pop about everything. I don't think it's at the board. I don't think this has got nothing to do with the board or with Libya. I think he knows what he's got to spend in the summer, and he's happy with that. He's happy what he's doing in the summer. So I don't think that's got anything to do. I think the club.
Who do you think he means then when he says it's inside the club? Who do you think he's referring to?
It's inside the club. It's outside. I think it's everything. I think it's the club's mentality. I think it's everyone that's within the club that, and maybe he saw it this week because of maybe it affected people within the club as well, that they wanted Tottenham to lose because of Arsenal.
Well, you mean like some of the coaches and stuff like that? Yeah. Or just he can't be mentioning like the catering and the dinner ladies. No, I mean, why would he care about that?
I wonder if that went through the club. And Johnson has said it did go into his players, that the players have got somewhat. He was asked before the game, has it reached you? And he said yes. So I wonder if he's noticed players even saying, do you know what? I might not give it 100% this week because of what it means. And I wonder if what he's getting at that. I don't think it's generally at the board. I think it's generally like everything within the club.
The thing is, like Johnson, for example, right? He's obviously going to know of the rivalry. I mean, he was playing at Forest, so it's not like he came from the other side of the country. But so he would have known of the rivalry, but obviously, he's still obviously new to Spurs. And then you've got a player like Sonny, which is why I said earlier about I can't believe he'd want to do it. But you think of Sonny. Sonny has probably become a massive Spurs fan. Of course, he probably is now because he's meant so much that he's forged that bond with the club. So maybe do you think if Andrews was in the locker rooms or whatever, and he heard kind of Sonny kind of maybe saying some stuff like, "Well, I've been here for so long, I don't want to. I've integrated myself into the club so much that I'm." Would he think he would mean like that? So some of the players that have been here a long time might have been like, "Well, we don't want to see Arsenal win because we're so ingrained with the club now." That's what I'm thinking.
I don't think it's. I think it's to do with that more than the board. To be honest with you, Tequila, I think it's. Okay. I don't think it is. Look, I'm not. I'm not saying you're wrong in your opinion either, in your observation. Maybe it does, but
I'm not sure, Dermot. It's actually not an opinion. I don't know. This is what I mean. Yeah, I actually don't know.
It's a difficult one to come out. The foundations are fairly fragile. So what does that mean? I mean, it's very it's like
it's quite cryptic. What he said is quite cryptic, and it's very open to interpretation, which means everyone's gonna be making a lot of assumptions without really knowing. I'd like him to clarify, but I don't know if he ever will, Dermo. I don't know.
Let's see what the people in the chat think, Philip. Tequila. And then the last bit before we get to that was I agree with the last bit, by the way. I want a manager who wants to win. And he's not worried about anything else. And I quite like that for Madge. I just want to win. That's what I want from my manager, by the
way. We've wanted somebody with a winning mentality for a long time. And although I do think Conte and Jose do have that, I don't think that this is the only manager we've had with a winning mentality. I actually don't think that's been the issue. But if he wouldn't have said that I didn't want to win, I'd be more concerned than him saying this.
Yeah. Let's see what the people think in the chat, Tequila. We'll go for another 5 minutes and then we'll shift because we've got another show to do. We've got a podcast live at 7:30 on our gaming channel. So everyone get over to Double Dom Gaming. Yeah. And we'll join us there. We're going to talk all things gaming. I'm going to really have a go about EA24, what heap of shite it is.
Yeah, I agree with you there. We'll cover that one.
See, me and Tequila agree on that. See, me and Tequila agree on a lot of things. That's why he's on Thfc till I die. Because me and Tequila... me and Philip are like the two Ronnies, and me and Tequila are like Batman and Robin.
I got to be Batman. Robin, have I?
Yeah, you have to be Robin, by the way.
The boy wonder. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, who's about 50-year-olds and still wearing these Robin outfits. Anyway, Gary Becks, big up, Gary. Haven't seen you before. So I haven't seen you for a while. I mean, hope you're doing well, sir. He said he won't take digs at Levy. If the board and co are not on board, he would just leave. I think he would actually, to be fair, Tequila. I think he would just walk out.
I think he would. I think he would just work. Maybe he was just kind of like, I don't know. Trying to get inside of Ange. I don't know. He's a very smart guy. Maybe he was just taking a little nudge. Maybe.
Gerard O'Connor cancels all over the shop from top to bottom. Look, I agree with that in a way, actually, Tequila, to be fair. I think why I agree with that is because of the losing mentality within the club, and that will do. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what Jared's getting at. And where are you on that? Do you agree with what Jared's saying, or do you understand where I'm coming from? But what's your thoughts on it, Tequila?
I don't know if I'd call it a cancer. I'm not that, I think maybe that's more than I'd call it, but there is something to be said about us caring about our more successful neighbours. And I know people don't want to hear about them, but they are our more successful neighbours. In history, they are. That's the way that it is.
Yeah.
I find it hard to because we bring in all these new players. I think I hit my mic. We bring in all these new players from all over the world.
They're losing the plot.
Yeah. And I just. They can't all. I mean, Romero is not a loser. He won a World Cup. He's not a loser. You can see he doesn't have a loser's mentality. And I fail to believe that players lose that when they join Spurs.
Yeah.
Right. And I fail to believe that just because they're in a club that hasn't won much for loads of teams. Look at the rest of the league. Look at the rest of the league, with a couple of teams' exceptions. Nobody's won many cups in the last 10 years other than Man City. Man United, there's only like a small handful of teams, but there's still lots of quality players who perform on a weekly basis up and down the Premiership. So I don't believe that Spurs changes these players. I just don't believe in that these players come here and then all of a sudden their winning mentality that they had before has been sapped from them or drained from them from somewhere. And if it is, where? I've heard people say stuff like, "Oh, it's curses" and stuff like that. People can believe what they want, but if that's really what they're coming down to, they think there's some kind of something supernatural is going on. It's a bit crazy to me.
Look, I get it. I get it, Tequila. 2 trophies since 2000. I get it. It is frustration.
Poor. It is poor.
I think it's more for the younger fans that haven't seen us win much, where I've seen us win trophies. So I get it. I'm frustrated as anyone. I'm disappointed as anyone when we go out on competitions. Because I want Spurs to get to Wembley. I want that Wembley feel again. So, you know...
Dermo, I know that you're not as Levy out as I am, but this is why I am kind of on that train. It's because it's the only thing that has been consistent. It's the only part of it that's been consistent, and that's why I think I want to change more than anything else, because it's the only part. Just from logic, it's the only part that has remained consistent. We've tried so many players and managers, Dermo, over the years. Sorry, mate, go on.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's just that's it. Really, it's just there's so many players and managers from so many parts of the world that we've seen do very well in other clubs. Yes, some of them have a lot of money. That's true, but it's the only consistent thing that's been here for so long is the ownership. So it's almost like we've tried everything else. So it's the only other part we haven't tried, and that's kind of where I'm at. Have you seen what's
just come in? By the way, the bottom comment. Don't read it out. Just read it.
Yes, that's. But then my reply, without reading it out, is probably then that's a scouting network not doing their due diligence on the actual personality of the player, like in Ndombele.
Yeah, Tequila has gone over and done all that research for us, and we can confirm. Well, can't confirm because we've been signed to the Official Secrets Act. So there you go. Keely's going to throw something at me in a minute. Anyway, following up from Mourinho and Conte, I suspect it's the lack of ambition and focus on noisy neighbours. Maybe, Chris, maybe. Lewis says, I'm worried about Maddison not buying into Ange. I think he is. I just think... I don't know. What do you reckon of Maddison, very quickly, Tequila?
I think if you would have listened to a lot of the Leicester fans before we bought him, I think they've described exactly what Maddison is that he's a patchy player where he goes, he has these moments for a couple of games and then he goes very quiet for a long time and then out of nowhere he'll just pop up again. And those players have got their place, but obviously when you want consistency in your team, the only thing that's consistent about Maddison is that he's inconsistent.
Wayne says, I think it's about Doris the tea lady. He never trusted her. She's always been that shady. Yeah, she has been a bit shady, hasn't she, Tequila, the Doris the tea lady?
She's been the one who's been causing the problems. Her and Dyer, and now Dyer's gone. It's like Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah. That's why Bentancur attacked Dyer's chair last night, because he just saw Eric Dyer's face then. He just attacked it. That's what you get for playing shit for Spurs, you wanker. Anyway, Jared O'Connor says Maddison is on his day. On his day, players, Spurs got mugged. If he was any good, he'd be at City Liverpool. I think Maddison's will come good. Just need to give him the summer.
I don't doubt that he's a really good player. It's just that his consistency is maybe he's got to be looked into a bit.
Yeah, maybe. Big up to Colin Cross. Big up to Dan Davenport as well for jumping in. Big up to Hot God 10. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is well. I just think Anne is frustrated with the Arsenal situation. He sees the bigger picture. I hope so too. Joe is saying Premier League clubs to vote on scrapping VAR. Thank Christ for that. Tony Young, I think it was Crowder had a go at them. Showed on Sky. Colin Cross says it should be, if we can't win, then who gives a F? Who wins? If we've got to get away from beating the scum is the holy grail. Joe says, I don't buy into the mentality thing from the top. Why would that affect the players at the pitch? I can see. Look at Newcastle, big club. Well, we're bigger. Always have been, always will be. These are mostly new players. Gerard saying players come to Spurs because it's an easy ride. Because they ain't expected to win anything. Handy, lolly, great nightclubs and ladies of the night.
Unfortunately, there's quite a lot of there is elements of truth to that for sure, Gerard. I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Can you confirm your source?
My source.
Yeah.
My source is just logic. I don't know what Gerard's. I don't know what Gerard's source is.
I'm going to call you Spock because you keep saying logic a lot. So I'm going to call you Spock.
If I could give you the Vulcan neck pinch over the internet, Dermo, I'd be giving you it.
I know you would, but you like me anyway. Chunk of $3.5 billion, then that will get you change of.
Yeah, no, fair enough, Gary. You're right. You're right, and it'd be more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking. How can I put it? Just think 4 higher than that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. It's Mason and other coaches from pre-Ange. Yep, I agree with that. Carl says we need to calm the situation down. Levy has to tell Ange we back you, and you get back down to business.
That would be good, Carl.
It would. The club need to come out and say something, wouldn't they, Carl? Right, Tequila. To be fair.
Yeah. No, I wish they would. I wish they would show. And that worries me a little bit that they haven't, because that makes you think maybe is our mate Danny like starting to weigh it up, and it's like, no, don't. Just give him longer, please.
Levy, don't you dare. Give Ange the players and the coaching staff he wants and let him get on with the job.
Exactly, Wayne.
Joe is giving you the Falcon sign of hello.
Live long and prosper.
That's it. Mr. Tequila, that's the end of another news beat. It's been a bumper show, hasn't it?
It has, but I do want to kind of hope. I hope a lot of us can put this behind us. I have a feeling it might rumble on. I don't want it to, but I have a feeling it might.
Yeah, I think it might too.
But
I want us to look forward to the season.
So.
Yeah, I want to look forward to the end of the season. I look forward to the summer because there's a lot going on, Tequila. You're a little show that's coming up in the summer is your and Tequila's little transfer show, which I'm so looking forward to watching.
You're going to give me and Carl a live mic on your show. Yep. Very dangerous.
Yeah, but you have to stick to the script. It is a transfer show.
I will attempt to keep Carl Simpson in check. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I know. I trust you. I just don't trust Carl.
Yeah.
We've got Carl said there are too many clubs looking for managers. I need Ange to say he isn't going anywhere. We've got Gary said Bentancur will be given a pre-season to find pre-injury levels, or he joins Højbjerg, Lo Celso, and Basuma on all we'll listen to offers for. I think so too. Next presser on Friday will be fun. That will be fun actually.
Very telling that will be, yeah.
It will be telling. You're right in that, Tequila. Thanks for the show. Up to Levy now. Coys, come on you Spurs, and come on you THFC till I die.
That C could mean lots of things. There's one word that's come to my mind, but I ain't saying it.
All right, yeah, okay, I get it. What do you think happened to Delhi?
He went to Everton. If he means his mental health, stuff, I don't know exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Fame coming to a young man's who's not prepared for it could be very dangerous.
That's a show I want to do in the summer about Dele Alli and young players. Tequila. That's actually a show we will.
Yeah, that'll be a good show. Yeah,
it will be. David, big up. He says, "G'day, Tequila," and all in the chat.
G'day, Cobber David. G'day, Cobber
I'm here with my kangaroo and my wallaby. Ready to get down for a bit of jumping with my kangaroo and my wallaby down to the pub.
I think David's bang on when he's unsubbed from a few channels.
I was going to get to that.
It's a difficult one. It is. It's very shocking, some of it.
I'm going to get to that actually. I want mentality monsters. That is it. The rest can go. Okay. Colin is asking, Dermo, will you give us shut it, Carl. Dermo, will you give us a wink if we get a transfer right? I think of something. Don't worry. I'm coming up with it. I am going to come up with something, Colin. Don't worry. I am going to come up with something.
One wink for yes, 2 winks for no, Dermo.
No, it's nothing to do with winks. I'm actually going to come up with a little video. Don't worry. I've got something in mind. I'm going to discuss it with Tequila afterwards.
Okay.
I'm going to got something in mind. David says, I'm sub for a few channels tonight. Been a tough night. Well, you know you're welcome here, David, and you know you will always be respected here. It's bad when you've got to unsubscribe from YouTube channels, but it is what it is, I think. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to get into trouble with anybody else.
No,
don't
get
what I mean in that.
Yeah.
Angie's going nowhere. G'day, Chris. Carl is saying there's loads of channels I don't watch now. No tequila. It's not that. It's Celtic. David,
yeah, he meant Celtic. Yeah. Sorry, mate.
Big up talking beer, says David. Big up Carl. Everyone's saying hello. And g'day, David Cobber. I'm going to go be doing the same with channels later. Well, Wayne, don't leave us. Oh God, this is my go-to channel. I've been away, but this is the best around it. Oh, thank you so much. Oh God, that's very kind of you. Actually, I don't like taking compliments, and I don't know how to take them. I do.
Either.
So I'm really grateful. Thank you so much. Oh God, it's absolutely an honor, and I love doing these for you guys. And thank you we're up to 8:15 now. We're on the march to 2K. We're going to get there.
There you go. Still growing, Dermo.
Problem is, Dermo got lazy eye. It's how he looks.
Carl, you're speaking to the boss man. I just want to remind you of that. Some things should be kept to yourself.
Yeah, Carl. Remember who the boss? Actually, Philip's the boss, by the way, not me.
True.
We did go through the structure of the channel before. We know who the head honcho is. Do you fancy a takeover, Tequila?
We're getting ready for a coup, Dermo. Just only matter of time.
We get ready for a coup. Yeah. My football team lost a popular ex-player last week. Oh, that's another thing I want to talk about in the summer. Is about this players' mentality after the game doing enough to look after players after they finish football, and Dele Alli sort of comes into that. So we'll get together, myself, Tequila, Carl, and Colin, and Philip, and we'll get together and we'll do something on this, David. I think it's worth looking into and doing this. So,
mental health awareness is good, no matter for football or whatever. So, yeah.
How do you think we'll get? How do you think we will get for Parrot a bag of tomatoes and a bag of tomatoes and a bag of chips?
Yeah.
What a wasted talent, though, Troy Parrott.
I don't even think he's going to end up being a Premiership player, is he? He's probably going to be Championship or something.
Yeah. We've got this is exactly right, Derm. He was 29, no age at all. Good day, Derm. Nice to see you back, mate. Colin says, I am the boss. Bow down to me. Let me look on the structure list. No, Philip's hiding us. Philip's hiding you. But we do bow down to you in a way. Good day, talking beer, Cobber. We're too harsh on the players. Yeah, we are. Big up to Talking Bear as well. And then we've got G'day, Colin Cobber. How are you, Cobber? Well, listen, that is the end of Newsbeat. It's been a great show. I've really enjoyed it. We've got mad numbers, absolutely mad numbers. Picked up a few subscribers as well. So it's good to see that we're growing. Tequila, do you want to give your channel? Of course, you are here full time, but do you want to give your other channel and the gaming channel a plug as well?
Thfc Till I Die, the gaming channel is Double Dumb Gaming. Am I right? That's how it's pronounced, isn't it? Double Dumb Gaming.
Double Dumb Gaming.
So we're going to be doing a show a bit later on, and it's going to be me and my mate from our show separately, which is the Play Pouch, which is just two veteran gamers who are talking about the gaming industry mainly. And we'll be going up against, we're going to be going to talk with Dermo and Com about some good, interesting subjects for you. And if you could subscribe to my channel, the Play Pouch, which we're on 70 subs the last I checked. So we're trying to get to 100. That would be great, guys. So thanks for any support you guys can give. And good talking to you tonight.
Yeah, and thank you for coming on, Tequila. A great addition to the channel. Yeah, please, if you can, please, everyone, hit the like button and subscription button on the way out. We've got a few more comments coming in. We'll take these and then we'll end off. Love my Spurs always. I'm happy, delusional. Well, join my delusional world. I live there full time. Carl says, Everyone share, like, and subscribe. You know it makes sense. Exactly. A bit of Del Boy there. Jared Connor says, Dermo, will you sell your soul to Sky Sports? No.
Not to Sky Sports, no.
But listen, on that bombshell, would I sell my soul to Sky Sports or would I sell my soul to Sky Sports? We're going to end it there. Please join us later for Double Dumb Gaming on our gaming channel. So get over there and give that a like and subscribe. And we are back tomorrow at, what's tomorrow? We're back tomorrow, guys, at 7 o'clock. So join us for Newsbeat, for our evening Newsbeat show, where we're going to go over everything. We're going to go over the look ahead to the final Premier League game of the season, bit more Spurs news, and that's talk about a lot of stuff. So enjoy yourself. Come on, you Spurs. And in Ange, we always, and we always will trust.
Come on, you Spurs.
What did they say? The guy never smiles, the guy is ruthless, what is it? The truth is that there is some truth on it.